bad therapy, Abigail Schreier uses the term iatrogenesis, which I had never heard applied to therapy before. It's generally like medical
Right.
stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right. We were clean.
Can therapy cause like unintended negative side effects, which
Hmm.
I thought was really interesting. You know, you could use the analogy chemotherapy is very helpful for people with cancer, but it's not
Right.
very good for healthy people. And there's
Not
probably
at
a lot
all.
of aspects of therapy that could similarly be harmful if applied to healthy people.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of evidence-based therapy or evidence-based treatment is because we actually, yes, there are limitations, and you can't study therapy the exact same way you would, study a pill, right? Because everyone gets the same pill, but like no two therapies are exactly alike, right? So there are definitely limitations, but I think you could really study. I think it's very important to recognize that these therapies do have the capacity for iatrogenesis and any like or regression to the mean, right? Like if you take someone who's in the height of a depressive episode, after a few weeks, usually they become less depressed, right? So like, you would want to show that your therapy is going to like it does better than the regression to the mean. So I do think, like a lot of people maybe in the psychodynamic world will, spend so much energy creating straw men of evidence-based treatment, manualized treatment, like that's not really therapy. There's no such thing. And it's like, yeah, they get their likes from their friends. But on the other end of it, you could have, treatments that go on forever and you don't know what they're doing or what they're not doing. And, I think that's also a mistake, right? And it's really helpful to be critical. Go in with assuming like when you do a therapy, are you assuming that it's gonna work and you attribute all the positives to the therapy and all negative aspects, that they weren't following the therapy and that's how you're gonna practice, right? Like, no, like you should go into it like, especially when you're studying, like with skepticism, right? Like that, like let's assume it doesn't work, and if we can prove that it does, great, right? Versus like, let me try to support, my therapy that it really works. And I think that is a problem. And I think that's why evidence-based therapy is very helpful.